Ace Attorney 6.
Hallelujah.
And for the first time ever, we get a confirmation that it's coming outside Japan the day it's announced. We're not having to wait years. Unlike other games like Investigations 2.
Or Phoenix Wright versus Professor Layton, or Daigyaku Saiban. At least...
Yeah, we're still waiting.
Yeah.
We're still waiting for that one.
Yeah, I get the feeling it's not going to be coming out anytime soon. If at all.
I just hope it ends up like Professor Layton and not Investigations 2.
Yeah, so we've still got another 2-year wait if that's the case. But in any case, day one confirmation, that's good.
And because it's apparently going to be at the Tokyo Game Show, playable, I'm guessing this is a Christmas release this year.
Shit, son. That's soon.
Which, it actually kind of scares me a little bit, just because to get a confirmation this late into the year for a release so soon leads me to think this was rushed.
Yeah.
That's just the opinion I personally have.
I admit I'm a little bit worried about this particular title. It does not look like Shu Takumi has returned to write.
No.
He did not write Dual Destinies either. And let's face it, opinions of that game have been relatively mixed. Mine especially. So, yeah.
Well, I guess we should probably talk about all the games that are currently out at the moment, because probably should mention, aside from the fact that, yes, CJ has returned, CJ's also the person that introduced me to this series. She's the one I borrowed the copy of Layton vs. Wright for to review, so that bit of content, plus the probably dying at this rate 10 about Smash, you can thank or blame her.
Oh, thank you. Means so much to me.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Anyways.
So yeah, quick summary of the... We'll probably leave Investigations out of this now, because this is a main series game, so...
And I admit I have not played Investigations yet.
Nor have I. That's because I'm waiting for Investigations 2, that way I can just cover them both out in one shot.
Well, there is the fan translation. I don't think the second one will be being released anytime soon, considering it was a DS title.
One can hope, one can dream. Besides, Capcom has ported stuff before.
True.
They've celebrated Mega Man's anniversary by basically porting the first 6 games. Again.
But were those
This is Capcom we're talking about.
Were those already released in English-speaking countries, or...?
Mega Man's 1 through 6 with the NES? Yeah, they all were.
Yeah, so,
They're even all on the Wii U eShop, which is probably the reason why it didn't come out to the Wii U or 3DS.
Porting is one thing, but porting and translating is another.
True.
Yeah.
And Mega Man is pretty easy to translate, seeing as all you really need to translate is, I think, probably one Word doc page at most, not including credits.
Compared to a visual novel where every second line is a pun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not all of them very good, but...
That's beside the point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Your thoughts on the Ace Attorney series as a whole?
Okay, well, like most people, I think the first 3 games were perhaps the strongest in the series. Apollo Justice was intended to be a reboot, which is fair enough, because Phoenix's story, pretty much done. Unfortunately, Capcom executives wanted Phoenix to be in the story, and so that's why he gets his badge taken away from him at the start. But, you know, he's still present, but not totally dominating the story. But by the time Dual Destinies happened, Apollo's character arc basically discarded. Nothing from Apollo Justice ever gets addressed within Dual Destinies, and I think that's a real weakness of the series. But it appears that Ace Attorney 6 takes place in a new country, so it's unlikely that Apollo's story will ever get any resolution there, which is a little bit disappointing, but hey, I shouldn't judge things before they begin.
No.
Yeah.
I do actually want to see some of the plot threads from Apollo Justice is concluded in some form, like Apollo's family.
Yes.
Which I'm going to try very hard not to spoil, but these are visual novel games, so chances are we're going to be spoiling stuff here. We already have. But, yeah, that's one of the things I'd like to see addressed at some point. I'm going to retouch over mine because my views on the first 5 games, while there is a published review on it, it's not very good. It was my second ever review, and I kind of tried to do something that was pretty stupid at the time.
It was experimental.
The first three games I quite like. I wish that they had more gameplay to them, but for the stories themselves, they are really good. I absolutely love them for the stories and the characters. I agree that Apollo Justice was quite bad. However, I think that they had potential in terms of the story itself. It was just the new gameplay mechanics they had for it, because the way they handled the trials, that one, I thought could have been a bit better. I do like Dual Destinies as a whole, because I love what they did for Apollo in Dual Destinies, minus any connection to his own game. I love Athena as a character. I love the Mood Matrix. I love Black Quill. I love basically a lot of the new things about it. It was a good upscale. I do wish that there was still more gameplay to it, which is why I personally think that one of the best games in the series is Professor Layton versus Phoenix Wright, just because it has more gameplay to it.
I feel like you're not the kind of
it's still
person who
quite good.
plays visual novels.
Not often.
Yeah.
I know you don't play visual novels for the gameplay. However, to me, unless there is something for the player to do, it just feels like one big cutscene. Which is why I would like to see a little bit more gameplay. It doesn't have to be like Call of Duty or Super Mario levels of gameplay, but just something to do.
Then you
which is why
probably shouldn't play 9 hours, 9 persons, 9 doors then, because there's like half an hour of reading between action. There's no dialogue choices or anything, it's just reading. Great game though.
Why do I get the feeling I'm going to get a request for that now?
You should absolutely play it, but you're not going to like it.
I do intend to play it, because if I hear enough praise for it, which is the reason why I got into the Ace Attorney series, curse you, I will check it out, see my thoughts on it, and again, I do like the games as a whole, because I love the courtroom areas. It's just the actual investigation periods where I think a little bit more could be done, even if it was use the D-pad to move around the crime scene. That alone would have been enough for me.
That's getting a bit close to Danganronpa territory there. However, I do agree that
true.
a bit more could be done with investigation. Like, personally, I rather liked Case 1.5's investigation tools, where, forensics with Emma Skye. Not sure if you played that case or not, but yeah, I liked that.
I've done that case. And they did bring that back for Apollo Justice as well, so...
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, just little things like that. It doesn't have to be full-on gameplay that takes away from the story, just something extra.
Something you can fiddle with.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
Which
adds.
is probably the reason why I like the Mood Matrix. So, yeah, with brief introductions on that out of the way, Ace Attorney 6 now.
Ace Attorney 6. So, what's it about? You've read more articles on this than I have. I've just read the announcement.
I've only really read the announcement about it as well. I've just been seeing videos, but from what we know, it's going to be taking place in another country, so it's taking inspiration from Layton versus Wright in that regard.
Okay.
So the first trial sounds like it's going to be customizing yourself to the rules and regulations of this new country. We also have a confirmation that Phoenix, of course, will be a playable character. We also have a confirmation of his new sidekick, which, by the looks of it, is breaking the Ace Attorney tradition and is a male.
Incredible. Though, judging visual novels with feminine-looking male characters in the past, they may or may not turn out to be female later in a shocking twist, but whatever.
Yes.
I'm trying not to be bitter about that.
I probably should say as a clarification, every single sidekick character in the series, including Investigations, has always been a female character. There was even a fan film I saw, Turnabout Storm, where they even mocked this. They're saying, you must always have a partner, preferably female. Preferably a young girl.
Yes.
So.
Then again, Layton versus Ace Attorney, Luke. Albeit only for a brief time.
True, I'll give you that one.
Yeah. In any case, judging from the few preview screenshots that we have, there's also appears to be like some sort of mood matrix thing going on, I think. In the top left there.
Apparently, yeah, from what it sounds like, those are words that come from a part of the
Testimony?
testimony, thank you. I'm a little bit half asleep, so...
That's okay.
Yeah, they're words that come out of the testimony, and then that somehow gets woven into finding out if they're lying or not. I'm not too sure of anything else out of that.
Okay, again I'm getting
This could be the...
Danganronpa vibes, where the testimonies themselves would fly across the screen and you'd have to pick out which parts were relevant. However, we just don't know at this point.
This could be... It's a water-based theme. I remember that one from one of the videos. This is a water-based area. Mm-hmm. So this could be the power of this new not Magatama. So... Because yes, the new male character also is wearing something that looks a lot like the Magatama, just slightly different. We've also got a screenshot of what looks to be the entry of this new village, which is Chinese themed by the looks of it.
Yeah, something like that, albeit with the more spiritual bend, because this is Ace Attorney. Yeah, I wonder if that will ever get tied into Kurain Village itself.
That would be interesting to see, because that's the one thing a lot of people have been talking about. Could this finally be the return of the long-lost and much-loved Maya Fey?
Fingers crossed. However, again, as I've said off camera, without Shutakumi writing, I'm a little bit nervous about what they do with her characterization. There's only so many times you can put her on trial.
Yeah, she's already up to... is it 3 or 4?
Let's see. Mia Fey's murder, and then there was the beginning of the second game, and then there was the third game, and then there's...
Layden versus Wright.
Layden versus Wright. So I think that's up to 4 times now.
Yes. The world must really hate Maya Fey.
Just a bit.
So, I'm hoping that if they do bring her back, she has a level of maturity to her now, because this is... Well, it's been 6 years since... Well, in between Trials and Tribulations and Apollo Justice. We could probably say another extra year here between Trials and Tribulations and Dual Destinies. Mm-hmm. So that's about a 7 to 8 year gap in her character. So...
Yeah, plus she's also become the master of the Kurain Village.
Yes. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays into it. On the subject, though, of returning characters, who else would you like to see return?
Honestly, Detective Gumshoe.
Agreed.
Like, I get that it's been a decade or so since his last appearance in Universe. However, I just really like him as a detective. And Bobby Fulbright, yeah, he was good, I guess, but he's just not Detective Gumshoe, and obviously he can't be returning. But,
yeah. There was a headcanon thing I saw, which I think kind of hilarious. The headcanon is that Gumshoe's now been promoted to Chief of Investigations, because the first Chief of Investigations was even more incompetent than Gumshoe himself, and they wanted to keep Gumshoe away from the actual crime scenes.
Well, fingers crossed he at least gets a pay raise. I swear, if he's still eating ramen noodles when he meets up with Phoenix again, like, you gotta worry about his digestive system. And
I think at that rate it'll be more the case of he's just has grown accustomed to eating only ramen noodles. It's not actually his budget now.
His body just violently rejects anything else. It's just noodles.
Yeah, how many pay cuts could you get before you start needing to live off the country itself? Or the government?
God, who knows?
Like, I generally wouldn't have been surprised if at one point when Gumshoe was living out on the street because he was earning so little money.
Yeah, I do wonder about where Gumshoe actually lives sometimes, but getting off topic.
For me, I'd like to see the return of the full Wright and Co. company, so bring back Apollo, bring back Athena, Trucy. If May is coming back, that will probably mean Pearl also returns.
Yep. But at the moment, only Phoenix is being used for promotional images, which strikes me as kind of strange.
I think that's more of the case of they're trying to keep as many spoilers away from this as possible.
But
Oh.
Apollo and Athena's existences aren't exactly spoilers.
They're not spoilers, but that's just what I get the thing, because again, when with this new character, it screams, "I'm the first defendant," which means I'm going to be the first person you see in the game, regardless of what you do. So that's probably why he, she, it's there.
They.
And then we've got this cropped screenshot of maybe Maya, but no idea yet.
Yeah, something
And-
tells me that's not Maya. If it were, Famitsu would have bothered to scan the rest of the page.
True.
Yeah.
Or for all we know, that is the full page and they literally just cropped it.
Then they'd cut off the text halfway, but whatever.
True. We are still waiting for more scans to come out. There could be more to this that we just haven't seen yet. Though at the rate this is going, because this is out for several hours now, this is probably the only 2 pages we're getting from this. We're definitely going to be getting a lot more at the Tokyo Game Show, which will hopefully, most likely, include a trailer for this, which I will be posting onto the review site when that comes out.
Awesome.
But yeah, I guess the only other thing is, are there any other things like mechanics you want to see brought back?
Not especially. Like, obviously, Nick's Magatama, and the Psycholox, my favourite mechanic of them all. But I feel like if you brought back Apollo and Athena's skills on top of this new water mirror mechanic, things might get a little bit too convoluted. I think that was one of the weaknesses of Dual Destinies, is just that they had too many mechanics, so they never actually did anything interesting with any of them, other than introducing them in the first place.
At the same time, though, if they did bring them back, now that they've got Dual Destinies under their belt, they could then go into expand on I wouldn't say Apollo's one, because Apollo's mechanic is just stupid regardless, but I'd like to see an expansion to the Mood Matrix, at the very least.
I'm kind of the other way around, honestly. I'd rather see more expansion on Apollo's sensitivity than Athena's hearing, but whatever.
The sensitivity thing, it sounds nice in theory, however, the execution that's happened for it just is really stupid, because it boils down to, oh, you're rubbing your fingers, you're guilty.
Whereas Athena's thing is, oh, you're surprised, you're guilty.
True, but at least that the tone and voice sounds a little bit more convincing than, oh, you're playing with your fingers.
I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that one, but... Conversation for
true.
another time, perhaps.
Maybe when we get more information. What else is there really to say about this? Because all we've got are these 2 Famitsu's scans, which only shows Phoenix, the new character, the new head of something, judging by what looks to be a staff,
And a yak.
and the water mirror.
Yeah, there's honestly not a whole lot we can talk about at the moment with just 2 screenshots. So,
Because
yeah.
none of us read Japanese that well.
Nope.
We definitely know it's coming out for the 3DS, so do you think this is going to be the first game since Apollo Justice, in the main series, that will get a physical release? Or will this end up like Dual Destinies and the trilogy?
I get the feeling that this is going to be a Dual Destinies in that it gets a physical release in Japan, but a digital release only in English-speaking countries. I hope to be wrong, but let's face it, Capcom has not been treating the series well as of late.
No. I'm hoping that this gets a physical release as well, because, especially for outside of Japan, we also got Leighton vs. Wright, which was a physical release. I think that might be more level 5's thing,
Yeah.
but Layton vs. Right did sell well, so it might be convincing Capcom to give this a physical release again.
Mind you,
Maybe.
Layton versus Right was also, well, it was basically, you didn't have to know anything about either series to play it, whereas this title boasts a 6. So it kind of implies that you've played every other game in the franchise.
That's true.
Yeah. It's not as easy to market a 6th as it is to market a, out of timeline game.
But at the same time, though, the only game in the main series that has not had a physical release in Western countries
is
Dual Destinies.
Yeah, well, aside from, Ace Attorney Investigations and like Yakuten Saiban, but that's because they didn't get a release at all.
Yeah, well, we can't really... I think the Gaiku Saiban is still in development. It's not even out in Japan yet.
No, wasn't it? I thought it did get released.
It's being worked on. It was talked about earlier in the year, but I think it's still in development.
Let me look that up real quick.
Yeah.
Nope, it got released on July.
Yeah.
Yeah. We just didn't hear anything about it because, well, obviously we can't play it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're still to wait for a confirmation on that one, and we might actually get that in Tokyo Game Show because they've got a lot of Ace Attorney stuff up there this time, apparently. So.
So jealous.
Yeah, maybe. In the off chance they may, for some reason, decide to bring it to PAX Oz, to which I will be going. I doubt it, but let me dream. But yeah, Dual Destinies is the only game to not have a physical release. The first 3 games were out on the first 4 games were out on the DS over here, so it also leads to the point that this 6th game could be like that as well. I doubt it because they're going off of Dual Destiny's success, and a lot of Dual Destiny's success was from its digital only. So, I want a physical release. I really want a physical release. But my brain's telling me it's probably going to be digital. Which is a shame.
Only time will tell.
Yeah. I'm actually reading this article at the moment. We've got the name of the character as well.
Yeah.
Bukyoto Tusani.
I'm not sure if that's pronounced correct at all.
Bokuto Tusani.
Suani.
Yeah, Suani.
Yeah, close enough.
A cheerful priest in training who also works as a tour guide for a living. He loves explaining things about the city, so hello tutorial character. About the country as a tour guide, and once he starts talking about it, he has a habit of not being able to stop.
Press A to mash through text.
Yeah, basically. Scan shows a mysterious character on the bottom of the page. She will show up in front of Phoenix and remains unknown whether she's a friend or foe, but we know that she's not a prosecutor, witness, or a judge. This is the girl at the bottom of the screen where we only see her face. So again, this leads to the point where she could possibly be the new mayor.
Or she could be the first victim.
True. Well, actually, no, it says that she's not a prosecutor, a witness, or a judge, so...
That doesn't mean she can't die.
Could be the victim, yeah.
Yeah. Regardless, it looks like she's in the courtroom, so I'd say she's another tutorial character to explain the water mirror.
Yeah. Which would make sense.
Yeah.
How do you think they're going to introduce the water mirror then for this? Do you think it's going to be this new not Magatama, or do you think it's going to be some other spiritual item?
Well, it appears to be used within the courtroom itself, so I'd say we don't find out about it until like the first or second case. Probably the second one.
They could end up doing this like the demo for Dual Destinies, in which case, if I recall correctly, the mood matrix was actually shown off in the first trial. Not elaborated on, but shown off. Because it was definitely in the demo, which was the first part of the first trial, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, they could end up doing that. But yeah, that's pretty much it though, unless you've got something extra to say this.
Nope, like I said, there's only so much we can talk about from two quick scans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have more for Tokyo Game Show though, at least.
Hmm.
Which I'm probably going to be spending a lot of time hearing about, because not only have we got Capcom having a lot of Ace Attorney stuff, Sega is also apparently going to be retained to form, which will hopefully mean a good Sonic game, since Generations.
Well, that's not my area of expertise at all, so you're on your own for that one.
Yeah, I'll probably handle that one by myself. Not too sure if it's going to be a video like this, or if it's just going to be text. Seeing it, but who knows.
Who knows?
We've also... Yeah, actually, what else do you hope will be shown off at Tokyo Game Show? Yeah, we're just paying this out now, okay? You can stop the video now if you don't want to hear about this.
Yeah, I have no idea who's going to be there at all. I don't know, Persona 5?
I'll see if they've got a list of who's showing up there.
Okay, like, Persona 5 is all I want out of any game show. But I know it's not going to be in any game show.
Okay.
I really don't
Sony's
know
definitely going to be there.
Okay.
With PlayStation 4 and this weird game system that they have that I'm still to see games for, called the PlayStation Vita.
Yeah, what the hell is that? It's like a Persona machine from what I've gathered.
Yeah, the RPG machine and nothing else.
Yep. RPG and visual novel.
Yeah.
And,
So why don't you have one yet?
Oh, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably never see you use it for the reason of there's not really a lot of games for it.
Exactly. I bought it back in 2013, and it was a dark year for everybody.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I'm just trying to find a list of presenters. So, feel free to keep talking while I search.
I don't really have a lot to say at the moment, actually. I suspect we can edit this part out.
Probably, and I will in 3, 2, 1. Alright, well, I'll see what Sony has there, because that will at least give me an idea of other companies. So we've got Odin Sphere. I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce that. I'll shove it in chat so you can see. Wow, this is laggy right now. Try pronouncing that last word.
Life Thrusia? Life Thrusia?
Exactly.
Thagan.
Yeah. Alright, so we've got Odin Spear, that. Star Wars Battlefront, Street Fighter 5, Arlen, the Warrior of Legend, Pro Evo Soccer again, Star Ocean 5, Exist Archive, The Other Side of the Sky, another Call of Duty, Destiny the Taken King, Tearaway Unfolded, the Tomorrow Children, Uncharted the Nathan Drake Collection, Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 4, God Eater Resurrection, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Eyes of Haven for the PS4, and for the Vita we have Airship Q, Minecraft PS Vita Edition, Tokyo Zandu, and God Eater Resurrection.
I could not be any less interested. If it weren't for Ace Attorney, I would not be paying attention to this at all.
Well, the only reason why I was paying attention to it was Sega's thing, but now we've got this, and...
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know at least one company that won't be there. Microsoft, because they really have nothing to show there. Yeah. Nintendo may show off something. That squeaky thing is squeaky. I highly doubt it, though. We still to actually wait for a new Nintendo Direct. We haven't had one since E3. So... yeah. There's more stuff. They're going to have Project Morpheus at their Japanese PlayStation Plus. Subscribers will get a preferential access to the demos via a booking service. and that's it.
Okay.
Oh, aside from TGS 2015 Navi feature, PlayStation app on iOS and Android store to comfortably navigate the booths and keep track of events. Wow, this has been a really great use of my time.
Well, I can't think of anything else constructive to say here, so should we just end it here?
Yeah, basically.
Alright.
I'll see you guys for I'll see you guys for Star Wars Clone Wars and Akemi ga Kill.
No idea what either of those things are, so see ya.